Assalamualaikum, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, beta, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
जी बेटा, अभी आप ऐसे की क्लास है, आपने
Yes,
ऐसे
ma'am.
लिस्ट देखनी है। अभी मैं जस्ट आपको ये जो एग्जामिनर की न्यू जो उसकी मैन्यूवरिंग है उस पे हम डिस्कस करेंगे। रिकंस्ट्रक्शन
Okay.
की मैं आपको 5 इयर्स की बजाय कि आप यहाँ पे मेरे साथ टाइम वेस्ट करें, मैं चाहूंगी कि आप वो उधर ही देख लें, क्योंकि वही सेम
Okay.
बात मैंने रिपीट करनी है।
Okay.
इंस्टेड ऑफ वेस्टिंग आवर टाइम वो उसको उधर ही कर लें और आपको एक राइटअप लिख के लेके आना है। उसके थ्रू मैं आपको
Okay.
रीडिंग सिखाऊंगी, बट फॉर टुडे आवर टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन इज एब्स्ट्रैक्ट एसे
Okay.
एंड हाउ वी कैन अटेम्प्ट इट। पहले तो ये बताइए, ये आपको इसका फर्क पता है? टाइप ऑफ ऐसे, ऐसे का मतलब क्या है?
नो मैम, ऐसे का मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं पता कि ऐसे मतलब राइटिंग अबाउट सम टॉपिक,
नहीं नहीं,
सेंटेंस
ऐसे
अबाउट अ
का
टॉपिक.
लिटरल मीनिंग होता है, ऐसे मीन्स अटेम्प्ट टू स्ट्रीमलाइन योर थॉट, scattered thought into a meaningful or organized way, so it's a complete comprehensive piece of writing from proper start and proper body and proper conclusion.
Okay.
It's based on a three, everything, even a book is based on the three essentials like proper introduction, body, and conclusion. So we will talk more about the essentials of essay, but that's a typical method of essay writing. And there are several type of essay writing. It could be covered letter essay. It could be, if we talk about precisely about the essay in the CSS exam, there are basically two types, major two types. One is issue based, and another one is abstract. You may say quotational,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
may say philosophical,
Theoretical also.
theoretical. Now he changed the ratio of these kind of topic. In the
Yes, ma'am.
previous years, that was like 30-40%, but now it's more than 70%. Only there are 3 topics. Like with each passing day, the proportion or ratio is getting increased as compared to issue-based one. We
Okay,
will
ma'am.
see more if you will see the playlist from the 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, like I solved from the 2016 onward 2023. You just need to go to the playlist, and
Okay.
it's in the title mentioned solve essay paper of this year.
Okay,
It's
ma'am.
very easy to locate.
Okay.
And we need to understand the basic strategy of the abstract essay, because obviously in the past it was not sort of compulsion, but right now it's kind of, compulsion for you to learn
Yes.
this art. Because issue based, he is no longer interested in issue based, because he got to know people do cram and they reproduce it with a little
Yes.
maneuvering. So he
Yeah.
wanted to see the hidden instinct of creative writing, critical analysis, expression of your,
Okay.
even if you are not from a literature background, you must be able to write it. So
Okay, ma'am.
for the abstract essay, it's very easy, but the outline method and the way of attempting method is entirely different.
Yes.
It's a complete 360 change.
Okay.
It's very easy to attempt the issue based because it has 10 essentials and there are set formulas as I already prescribed.
Yes.
You will get to know that.
मैम मुझे यही डिफिकल्टी है आउटलाइन बनाने में कि आउटलाइन किस तरह बनेगी
Don't
किसी
worry,
चीज की।
we will discuss each and every topic here with the, you know, with actual practically doing it in live
ओके
session. And even though I would suggest, if you are you aspiring for PMS or CSS?
आई एम CSS।
All right. Today I uploaded the PMS one video as well about the paper attempting technique, but it would serve the purpose for the same, like for CSS for PMS. Doesn't matter. Pakistan studies paper. You may go and check it out because it has covered a lot of question about the 20 marks question of attempting technique
यस
and the time management. So coming back to the abstract essay, it's a one statement and it's open-ended statement, and you have to dissect it because it's a subjective statement and it varies from person to person. The problem, or you may say issues with the abstract essays are it it is like subjective.
ओह यस
Everyone has different opinion and examiner can agree or disagree. So we have to present it that way that even if he is disagreeing with that point, to some extent, we must present the other picture of the, so he could agree on the fewer points as
ओह
well.
यस यस
Both
यस
sides in such a way that it attracts the attention of examiner, and he or she is able to give you a good
यस
score.
यस
These essays are very much easy, trust me, but it's all about the methodology and the attempting technique, specifically
यस मैम यस
outline.
स्ट्रक्चर
Here
बिल्डिंग
the
एंड
structure and outlines is like 60% game rather
ओके
than the rest of essay. So in the abstract essay, we have to be extra cautious and we have to take a 360 view of particular topic and try to, present in a such a way that it must be complete holistic picture. So it
ओके
covers all the point, all the classification, all the types, maximum. So at the later on, you will not struggle. And
ओके
let me share a few do's and don'ts
ओके
of
मैम
writing abstract essay.
ओके मैम
So it would give you a better clarity.
यस
And I'm trying to keep it as simple so you got the idea instead of making it as something like, very
ओके मैम
difficult. We will try to make it easy. And these are very, for one paper, I attempted abstract. In another year, I attempted, issue based. So I do have grip on both. In the one exam,
ओके
I scored 55 and in another 65.
Okay.
So
Ma'am,
it's
the
very
types
easy
of
for me.
essay are basically two. The one is abstract essay and the other one is issue based. Is there any
Yes.
third type?
No, there would be so many. I will explain you like descriptive, issue based, like challenges based. But the essence is you may say umbrella wise it's two. Like
Oh
one is
yes. Okay.
abstract,
Okay. Yeah.
another one is
Another
problem,
issue based.
challenges, cause and effect.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Okay.
there could be variations obviously, but
Okay.
we are to keep it simple, we are dissecting it into the two parts, two ways.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So first do is it try to make as much classification as you can.
Okay.
A little bit specific and don't try to be over generic. Obviously, it would be in the don't side. And the do's is try to dissect, try to take 2 or 3 sides or interpretation. Try to present 2, 3 interpretation of the given topic in the first part of essay. So examiner could dwell it what you are trying or what's your comprehension or understanding, right?
Okay.
Another thing about abstract essays, try to answer all the given terms.
Okay, ma'am.
Terms or
Ma'am,
unique words.
as I have attempted one of essay in 2023, that is more taxes should be imposed on junk foods and soft drink to encourage the healthy eating. That
I
was
have
abstract
solved
essay.
this one as well. I will show you. Let me complete this and I'll show the solved
Okay.
version here in the
Okay.
class. I already solved and uploaded on the, on the blog, all 10 essay outlines of 2023 uploaded on
Okay.
a single blog. And I'll show you here. Let me try to share few more do's and don'ts. So it will give you a holistic picture what examiner
Okay.
expect from you and what you
Okay.
have to present in a single plate. So you people are at the same page. I mean examiner and you, obviously.
Okay, ma'am.
Answer all the given terms or words. So you can expand it because the biggest challenge here is expansion. Don't try to stretch it just for the sake of adding words.
Okay, ma'am.
There are few techniques through which you can expand, but don't try to stretch for the sake of adding words
Okay.
like 3000, And in the don't section, don't overgeneralize. It would be very difficult for you to handle. You have to
Okay.
clearly give the indication to the examiner. For instance, you are going to present a case in point. So you and like both are in the same page that you have set your limitation, you have set your scope, and he will not
Okay.
mind it. He know the limitation of 3 hours, 3000 words. You are not there to write a complete book on a single
Okay.
topic.
Ma'am, is there any issue that we can't complete 3,000 word? We
Yes,
must have.
specifically for the abstract essay, because people don't know the technique. That's why I'm here to teach you about the technique to expand it. The only problem is it's too generic, or it is very illusionary that candidates are not able to keep the same focus. They would like dragging from the one point to another.
Oh, yeah.
Like they started with something else and they will end up in I don't know where. So that was the dragging unnecessary.
मीन्स
Just
कि आपने जिस पॉइंट से स्टार्ट किया उसी पॉइंट को आपने एंड
yes.
भी करना है विद
Yes,
कंक्लूजन.
I'll show you. I'll show you.
Hmm.
I'll show you with the giving example in detail. But I'm so tired. Sitting on the chair all the time. So coming back to it, dragging unnecessary, and then what else? Like using excessive jargons. Jargons are those terms which are used specifically for, for one particular subject. It has same meaning,
For
but
example,
as per, for instance, in the law, contract is different. In simple language, contract means anything else.
agree. Yes, okay.
In psychology, a topic means something else. In layman words, its interpretation is different. So every word has a specific and generic definition. So
Okay.
when we assume examiner is a pro and he could understand every term we will use, and you started using so many jargons just to show that you have very good expression, but in reality that's not the case. So you
Okay.
end up in writing something complex sentence or paragraph which is not able to
Okay.
comprehend for the examiner, and he failed to, and he think that you wrote in a flowery language.
ओके मैम, एक चीज मुझे कंफर्म करनी थी, ये
Yes.
जरूरी है कि हाई वोकैबुलरी यूज की जाए? सिंपल अगर वे में
No.
लिखें तो?
uh, Let me tell you, there are different standard. You are in a maximum, in a most competitive exam, so your expression, your word, your way of presentation of ideas must be different and elusive as compared to general. Words do play a role. If we see an article in the BBC or Al Jazeera, is entirely different from local diary. So
यस.
words matter. So I hope so by giving such illustration, you got my point. It is a
Okay,
matter
ma'am.
of fact that we have, obviously we are taking exam, the most prestigious one, so the standard must be at par,
Okay,
right?
ma'am. Okay.
Minimum or dawn is your, like, it's just like a sample in front of you that examiner expected such kind of write-up from you,
Okay,
in
ma'am.
way of presentation, in way of writing formal words, not too generic, not too formal. It's
Okay,
a middle
ma'am.
of both. All right. In the don'ts, flowery language, lack of organization, like it must be proper start, proper introduction, like in the other components, and it would not be mess up. In one paragraph you are giving three illustration, and in the second you are just writing sweeping sentences. So
Okay.
keep the balance in form of evidence. I will
Connection.
show
Okay.
in the abstract essays, you have to give more evidence as compared to as compared to issue based. Why so? Because it is generic. It based on the interpretation of the candidate. Your
Oh,
interpretation could be very much different from me, and we will discuss and attempt it here, and we will get to know more.
okay,
Lack
ma'am.
of organization, flowery language, and in the don'ts is last point. Let me think. What else? Harmony. Organization, harmony, same. Inconsistency. Take a screenshot of this so you will keep it safe with you.
Okay, ma'am.
Next time you are going to bring one pager with you.
Okay, ma'am. Will you give me any topic?
No, it depends on you. You have past paper. Take any topic.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
All right.
Okay.
By the way, who recommended you?
Yes, Miss Hoor, ma'am, I just came to know about your channel, YouTube channel.
Good. It's in. I must keep posting there.
Yeah. So, and I just read your comments, so that's why.
Essay 2020, 2021 to 316 15 15. I didn't attempt it the 2015 yet. I tried to keep
Mm.
every year, so you know, just for the sake of discussion and novelty, or because it would
Yes, yes,
be
ma'am.
repetition for me. So I tried to
Yes.
consult each and every topic one by one year. If screen is there,
Yes, ma'am. Screen is here. Um,
essay outline. Can you see the screen?
yes, ma'am.
All right. So if you can see and observe, he gave a clear direction. Make an outline. It's mandatory. In the past, it was not the case. Now you have to make an outline. 20 to
Okay.
25 marks. Write a comprehensive essay. He gave you a word count, and comprehensive
Yes.
mean, even though he didn't ask you impact causes, it must be under the curb of comprehensive essay. He gave you word limit,
Oh,
and
yeah.
comprehensive mean proper introduction and proper end,
Okay, ma'am.
right? On any one of the given topic. Make sure you
Okay,
use
ma'am.
different form of discourses, what you were talking about earlier about the types. So discourse mean way of expression, way of presenting your idea, way of you know saying uh, through dialectics, or expression. For example, exposition. When we say something with the help of example, we are using the discourse type of exposition. For instance, so many people attempted the human right terrorism essay in 2015, first one. And since people saw the word war on terror keyword and they start writing on it, and most of them flunked in this particular essay. Why so? Because you see the topic, but they were unable to comprehend that actual topic was about human rights, not war on terror. I will explain more. But the way I
Oh,
am using or expanding my discourse with the help of example, this is the example of exposition. You see,
oh,
I give an
yes.
example of number of student in a particular year in a way. Got it? So
Yes,
this is a type of discourse when you explain your point with the help of example. So this type of example or giving evidence by with the help of example comes under the exposition discourse. Got it?
Yes,
Next
ma'am.
come the argumentation, when we present some idea and it has more than one opinion. Like it could be maximum three variation. Either you are going to get agree or disagree or
Oh,
something in
yes.
between. Obviously, there is nothing fourth. There could be maximum three. Either you are agreeing, either you are disagreeing, and either
Okay.
you are in the middle of both.
Okay, ma'am. There's a about a thesis sentence.
Yes, there are rules, certain rules for it, and I'll explain you more because in the argumentation, it is mandatory to write thesis statement. But as far as abstract essays are concerned, there is no such need to write thesis statement. And I'll
Oh,
explain
okay.
you why. I will explain
Okay, ma'am.
later. In the argumentation discourse, we have to present ideas, like we have to argue, we have to debate, we have to give several variations.
Okay, ma'am.
And then comes the description. In the description section, we have to there is slight difference in the description and narration. But first of all, there are two type of description. Like description has the structuralism and functionalism. If we describe something concrete, something physical, something which we can touch. For instance, I am describing this room. It's a rectangular one. It has brown and white physical appearance. It has chandran and all stuff. So I am describing it with the help of structure, right?
Okay.
If
Yes.
I am explaining like what I'm doing, what I'm sharing, what I'm feeling, I'm breathing, I can smell, I can feel, I can warm myself, and blah blah. So in this type of discourse, I'm describing about the function. My emphasis
Okay.
on the function, and in the previous one, my description was from the point of view of structuralism. So these are the two ideologies. And in the last part, last narration is about, again, it has two types. One is storytelling and one is as observer, first person. In the narration is you have to observe, but you have to present, if you are the first person and you are sharing your story, it's a narration in the first person. If you are giving it to the third person by way of making observation, for instance, let me explain it with the help of example. I sent someone to go to the traffic signal and observe how many cars of a particular brand is on the road between this time. So one, when he was taking note of it, he is basically narrating or writing to himself as a first person. But
Yes, ma'am.
when he has to present it in the form of story or in the form of elaborating point, so it would be in the form of third person, right?
Okay.
So
Yes,
narration
ma'am.
has two types, as an observer or as a storyteller.
Okay, ma'am.
So these are different form of discourses. I hope so. Okay, you did this even for the first time.
Not so, ma'am, because I was
No,
not fully prepared.
no, no. About the instruction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
Yes.
it.
Yes, because I know even you already appeared once, but there would be so many students, they would not bother to search about it, what examiner demands.
Yes, ma'am.
So obviously, result we see at our own. Credit will be given for organization, relevance, and clarity. Organization, there are 10 essentials of essay, and there is a proper placement in the form of outline. So you need to
Okay.
follow outline pattern to keep it in organized way. For the sake of relevance, for instance, I already told you the war on terror has contributed about this topic. So many people tempted war on terror, history, types, facts, quotations, causes, impact, whatever. But it was not relevant, so they flunked. So relevancy
Okay.
is very important. Even if you
Okay.
wrote it to a next level, like exceptionally well, but it's not relevant, he's not going to give you credit. He has
Oh,
clearly mentioned. And the
okay,
last
ma'am.
is clarity. Sometimes few students wrote sentence in such a way that their sentences and words are not clear.
Okay.
So clarity is important, not too much complex, not overusing idiom and phrasal verb or foreign words, not writing too simple, is mr this that, where to keep it simple, clear, and in a comprehensive way.
Okay.
So that's all about the instruction. And
Okay.
in the let's start with the second topic. Anticipation is often greater than realization. So that's a philosophical one. Punctuality is the
Mm.
virtue of board. Two, I disapprove of what you say. Three, every employee tends to. Four, luxury predecessor. Five, when life throw you lemon. Six, labor saving devices. Partially, but you may say yes in the philosophical too. So you see 60-40.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's kind of necessity. Even I am talking about 2015. This paper is 2015 one. The
Okay,
result
ma'am.
is in front of you. So in the anticipation is often greater than realization.
Yes, ma'am. The second one.
Yes, ji beta.
Yes, ma'am. The second
Anticipation,
one.
anticipation. I'm going to start with the anticipation is often greater than realization.
Okay.
Introduction, where you are going to give the three interpretation of a given statement,
Okay, ma'am.
explaining, term anticipation.
Okay.
Even before this, interpretation of statement. Because in the introduction, you are going to present holistic picture, but you
Okay.
have to present what is your stance, or you may say kind of thesis statement.
Okay. I have to because it's a yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes. Three, four, realization. Instead of writing simply as explaining term, we can write deconstruction of term realization. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
And then comes first of all, you need to understand what obviously you have to explain or stretch the outline well. In these type of essays, you have to write outline first and then you have to write body part.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's vice versa to the issue based. You have to interpret anticipation is something we can anticipate, uh, you know, what we can say, something anticipate in the future. Let me try to explain. Prediction, you may say. Anticipation is equal to prediction.
Yes. Prediction. Tawakko.
Yes, prediction. Prediction is often greater than realization. Anticipation is to expect, to anticipate, and realization is something different. Realization is something concrete in real. Anticipation is just in, in something in your mind. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be as per expected, it could not be as per expected. Right? Because prediction do change. We can predict tomorrow could be rain. But if the rain comes, there is a realization of your anticipation. But if doesn't, it does not mean that you must not be well prepared for a rainy day. You got my point?
Yes, ma'am.
So this way, like I am explaining to you, you have to present in a same way to the examiner, because examiner would behave like a layman, and you have to explain different variations. Like one way is we must not predict everything. That could be one stance. Another way is we have to predict more, because uh, at the end it doesn't matter, either your prediction could be realized or not. And one way example of this is, for instance, there is a quotation, cry for moon and you will be end up in stars. Like, at least you have to anticipate that you are going to be star. You are aspiring for a moon, and obviously if you will not, if you try to be an average, you can take another example. You have to use the same method like I'm explaining you here. You have to use different examples to elaborate your point. Like, you give one stance, you have to give evidence. You have to give another stance, you have to give example. For instance, if a student only aspire for passing the exam, he will not put a lot of effort, because he anticipate that he just need passing marks, that's all. But if a bright student, if a star student anticipate that he is going to be topper, might be he realized obviously later on in a result, he couldn't score the top marks or top seat, but he is obviously not the only average passing mark student. He might be in the top 10, in top 5. So that is the rationale behind it. We have to anticipate, either it's a good thing or a bad thing. We have to anticipate in either way. Are you getting the point?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have to give illustrations. All 3 illustration I gave you.
Okay, ma'am.
For instance, illustration in the form of as individual,
Okay.
as organization. Like, if we will not set our target of budgeting, costing as an organization, it would not be possible for us as an organization to excel, right?
Okay, ma'am.
So classification, as organization, as individual, you have to cite one example each. probably with the help of statistic fact, or another way is simple example I am giving you. In the same way you have to give, as
Okay,
individual, as organization, as nation. You know, we have the 5-year plans.
yes, ma'am.
So as a nation, we have to explain the importance. That's the second heading, but we have to give illustration here. As nation,
Okay,
as super organization.
yes, as a leader or as a.
No, that's a come under individual.
Okay, okay, okay.
Like there must be proper categorization. Can you
Okay,
see?
okay. Yes, ma'am.
That's enough. And then comes benefits, or you may say perks of anticipation.
Okay.
Actions taken for realization. You got it?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And then comes it mostly 8 to 10 points, because we
Okay.
cannot stretch more, otherwise it's not possible for you to complete in 3 hours. Actions taken for realization.
Yes.
Another stance is cons of anticipation. If we will do over projections, always looking the bright side, it could have a ripple effect, negative effect, consequences. Cons of anticipation. You can even cite example in the same way as classified as I already told you in the like A, B, C, D, something like that. The only objective is telling you rule and application of the rules. Cons of anticipation, and then comes suggestions to take more realistic steps than mere atopic anticipation. It's a kind of, thesis statement for me.
Yes.
Suggestions, and then comes a suggestion could be in the form of, at micro level,
Okay.
at macro level.
Okay.
If you could able to learn the art, you're
Okay,
going to
ma'am.
do exceptionally well. Trust me, it's an art. Essay writing is an art. I'm
Yes, ma'am.
doing spontaneously for the very first time in front of you.
Okay.
You can see at your own. So that's all for the today. You have
Okay, ma'am.
bring
I
another
have to.
outline on the
Okay, ma'am.
second one, punctuality one.
Okay.
Same essay, same paper,
If
same
any,
week, but
I
on
can
the topic.
take any one of the topic
Yes, any
about
topic, any
abstract essay.
topic.
Okay. 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 I
10
will.
pointers, 10
Oh,
headings,
10
just
points.
like I
Oh,
wrote here.
okay. Okay, ma'am. I will do
Okay,
it.
thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.
Okay.
Allah
Okay. Yes, ma'am. One thing I have to. Can you please repeat the name of that translation book? I actually forgot it to write.
I am going to message you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
No problem.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.